But if I don't mention the fact that the same man has been arrested for the same crime 6 times before, am I really informing you? No, I'm not. I'm misleading you. And that's what the news media are doing.
All right, friends, we got a good one for you in a Daily Mail. Elon Musk reveals Tucker Carlson has not signed a deal with Twitter as he welcomes his new show to the platform. Yeah, we got a video to get to today. Tucker Carlson that has, let's just say he is back. He is back. For those of you who don't know, Tucker was fired from Fox News. We still don't know why. But nevertheless, Tucker hasn't really come out and physically, verbally attacked the network. He's been somewhat very... he's used a lot of wisdom in a way that he addresses what's going on there. But he did put out a video about a week ago telling you that he's going to come back soon. See you soon.
Words, there is hope. See you soon.
Something tells me we have not heard the last from Tucker Carlson.
Well, you said see you soon for a reason.
Yeah.
The news and the information that you are going to hear is so significant for you to make decisions accordingly, because he also went out to expose what was going on in the system, and I think that got him in trouble. So the video that we got for you today is going to tell you some more about Tucker. Here's the thing. CNN, Eric Berner, CNN anchor, said this about Tucker. I was like, are you serious? Like, listen to this, what she said.
The most senior Russian official to visit the United States since Putin invaded Ukraine. You heard me there. Today, said this, unprompted.
I've heard that Tucker Carlson has left Fox News. It's curious news. What is this related to? One can only guess. But clearly, the wealth of views in the American information space has suffered as a result.
In Russia, Tucker Carlson is a star for repeatedly being pro-Russian, anti-American, and anti-Ukraine. Look at this here. These are different pictures from Russian state television. Tucker Carlson in every one of them. The two, frankly, have been in lockstep on their spin.
If there is any single American who deserves scorn and, yes, blame for the invasion of Ukraine, it would be Joe Biden.
We need to introduce a new term, Biden's war. It's Biden's war. He's in charge.
What's even more offensive than Lavrov portraying Carlson as a symbol of freedom of speech, though, is his government's treatment of Putin critics and journalists.
Okay.
This is called propaganda, by the way. That's what you just listened to. That's what you just listened to. Like, Tucker Carlson is a much better American than all of yous that are, because he's exposing some stuff that's going on within the system. Doesn't necessarily mean he is not an American. He is anti-American, pro-Russian. That's just pure nonsense. Stop playing with the propaganda. Here's the thing. We're going to move on now. By the way, Fox News ratings falls off a cliff after Tucker Carlson's departure. They will never recover from this. So we have my man here. This is my guy, Mark Dice. Now, Mark Dice is playing a video from Megyn Kelly, and you're going to take a listen to how bad of a things have become in Fox News ever since Tucker Carlson left. Let's take a listen to this.
Turned YouTuber Megyn Kelly gloating.
Overall number, that's everybody who's watching, is down almost 50%. It's down 47% without him.
Wow.
The key advertising demo, which is the number they care about, 25 to 54-year-olds, is down 59% at 8 p.m. 59%. They've lost almost 2/3 of the audience that helps pay their bills. They're left with about 1/3 of their audience. I mean, that's...
You could tell she want to laugh. She want to laugh so bad. She's not. By the way, Megyn Kelly was also fired from Fox News. I think she went to work for MSNBC and lost her job, and now she's independent and doing exceptionally well. So she's laughing because she's like...
pay their bills. They're left with about 1/3 of their audience. I mean, that's stunning.
Gee, that's too bad. Please cheer me up by telling me that all of their primetime shows are down, not just Tucker's old time slot.
And I looked up and down the board at the rest of the prime time, which, with all due respect to the daytime, is all anyone gives a about over there at Fox News. The prime time pays the bills, period.
Yep.
They're all down. Just did a quick calculation. The 9 p.m. demo, which of course is Hannity, he follows Tucker, is down almost 40%, down 39%.
Oh, that's good enough. Hannity is the worst.
My goodness, this is good. So it's time for Tucker, guys. It's time to take a listen to Tucker recent video. Some people had an idea that Tucker must have been working things out with Elon Musk. It looks like he's building his own platform. Exactly. This is the way to go about it, especially when the media is going after you in the way that they've been going. So let's take a listen to what Tucker has to say, okay? I think this was great. This was a great message. Let's take a listen to this.
Hey, it's Tucker Carlson. You often hear people say the news is full of lies, but most of the time that's not exactly right. Much of what you see on television or read the New York Times is in fact true in the literal sense. It could pass one of the media's own fact checks. Lawyers would be willing to sign off on it. In fact, they may have. But that doesn't make it true. It's not true. At the most basic level, the news you consume is a lie of the stealthiest and most insidious kind. Facts have been withheld on purpose, along with proportion and perspective. You are being manipulated. How does that work? Let's see. If I tell you that a man has been unjustly arrested for armed robbery, that is not, strictly speaking, a lie. He may have been framed. At this point, there's been no trial, so no one can really say. But if I don't mention the fact that the same man has been arrested for the same crime 6 times before, am I really informing you? No, I'm not. I'm misleading you. And that's what the news media are doing in every story that matters, every day of the week, every week of the year. What's it like to work in a system like that? After more than 30 years in the middle of it, we could tell you stories. The best you can hope for in the news business at this point is the freedom to tell the fullest truth that you can. But there are always limits. And you know that if you bump up against those limits often enough, you will be fired for it. That's not a guess, it's guaranteed. Every person who works in English language media understands that. The rule of what you can't say defines everything. It's filthy, really, and it's utterly corrupting. You can't have a free society if people aren't allowed to say what they think is true. Speech is the fundamental prerequisite for democracy. That's why it's enshrined in the first of our constitutional amendments. Amazingly, as of tonight, there aren't many platforms left that allow free speech. The last big one remaining in the world, the only one, is Twitter, where we are now. Twitter has long served as the place where our national conversation incubates and develops. Twitter is not a partisan site. Everybody's allowed here, and we think that's a good thing. And yet, for the most part, the news that you see analyzed on Twitter comes from media organizations that are themselves thinly disguised propaganda outlets. You see it on cable news, you talk about it on Twitter. The result may feel like a debate, but actually the gatekeepers are still in charge. We think that's a bad system. We know exactly how it works, and we're sick of it. Starting soon, we'll be bringing a new version of the show we've been doing for the last 6.5 years to Twitter. We'll be bringing some other things too, which we'll tell you about. But for now, we're just grateful to be here. Free speech is the main right that you have. Without it, you have no others. See you soon.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's a powerful message indeed. Tucker touched a number of things here, and I want to say, first of all, let me give this man a clap. He is so intelligent. Not only he knows what to say, but he also knows how to say it. There were a number of things he spoke about here. He's saying the news doesn't lie to you. All right, on the surface, what they're telling you is true, but the only problem is the facts are being withheld from you. And I thought that was so cruel. That was so true, right on point. Because think, for example, what's going on in New York right now with Jordan Neely, right? Protests everywhere. People are upset. They're shutting down trains, standing in the train tracks, and so on, because people believe that Jordan Neely was murdered, right, by this Marine person, right? However, when you do some more research, right, the way they present the news is that Jordan Neely was this innocent individual, was a Michael Jackson impersonator who didn't do anything. We've seen him several times before, yada, yada, yada. When you listen to the news, they don't tell you the threats that he made. They don't tell you about his history. They don't tell you about, other things that happened. Did he deserve to die in the way that he did? I don't think so. They don't tell you the homeless crisis. They don't tell you about the drug abuse. They don't tell you about him physically attacking people in a train before. That's kept from you. So what that does, it leaves you with part of the truth. when you have part of the truth, not the entire truth, that's called a deception. That's what Jesus speaks about in Matthew 24. That's, there's going to be deceptions in the last days. And this is literally what you're looking at through the propaganda. I did play a video earlier for you by CNN. That right there, that's a type of propaganda. That's a deception, right? They take portions of the story, they promote that. They don't give you context. They don't go in depth. They don't give you enough to work with, right? And these little 60-minute clips, it might sound to be truthful, but a lot of times it's deceptive. And I know there's ways you can do that and give out true information, but that's not what they were doing here. They were trying to smear somebody's character. That's deception. These people are really, really good at doing that. So you got to be aware of this. And I think Tucker is going to be just fine. So he spoke about the deception, how people are being manipulated to the news.
Isn't that what the media tries to do, though?
It's their only purpose.
Right.
They're not here to inform you. Really? Even on the big things that really matter, like the economy and war and COVID and like things that really matter that will affect you. No, their job is not to inform you. They are working for the small group of people who actually run the world. They're their servants. They're their Praetorian Guard. And we should treat them with maximum contempt.
And when you look at the way the news is being presented, it's so true. It's like you hear one thing and you don't hear something else. For example, the individual who did the mass shooting at the Covenant Christian School, we still don't have a manifesto, right? A manifesto has not been revealed. And I heard that there is a lawsuit that is demanding for the manifesto to be revealed, but who knows? It's going to be probably redacted. Who knows? There's going to be so much changes to that, but who knows? But the thing is, this individual who did the mass shooting to these Christians, we still don't know the motive of that individual, even though there is a written manifesto and there was social media account. While at the same time, what happened to Jordan Neely, we already were saying it racism, it classifies as this and as that. There was a person who did another mass shooter. Was it in Texas? So this other mass shooter, they automatically say he was a white supremacist, right? He was listening to white supremacist content online. Came to find out this man was Mexican. His parents can't even speak English. So what they doing here is called propaganda. Okay, they're telling you part of the story, and the news is not trustworthy. It doesn't necessarily mean you can't hear anything from them. You can take a little nugget here and there, but you gotta go deeper and do your research. And I think Tucker Carlson's whatever he's about to do, listen, I'm gonna be there waiting and watching because I need to hear where this man is going. His videos are going viral. This stuff is in the millions already. 96 million views. That is ridiculous. Now, I'm guessing this is the result of just people just checking it out. Is it that much? That can't be true. Maybe I'm reading this Twitter business wrong. But it's been retweeted 169,000 times, 23 quotes. I mean, wow. Yeah, that's it. The man came out with a 2 minutes video, bang. What does this tell you? People are hungry for truth. People are hungry for it. Wherever it is, they're going to go look for it. And the thing is, we live in a time today where, what's lacking in our culture is that people don't love the truth as much, or they either love being deceived. And I was on this page. I'm so glad when I was reading this, listening to these people's comments. It was good reading their comments. Their comments tells you everything. It says, the problem was he was telling the truth. CNN, someone else, an American, is blank hilarious. And when you read it, I think I even put my 2 cents in there. Yeah. Tucker Carlson is 100% American. Bless him. And bless a free USA. I mean, CNN tried, but the comments are saying, girl, you ain't saying nothing. Now, there are a few people who said, Tucker is the man. Tucker is more American than the entire CNN team multiplied by infinity. So what does that tell you? People are like, they don't care about what CNN is saying. They know the propaganda game that you guys are playing. So people are picking up on this stuff. They kind of know what these people are doing. So they're not falling for it anymore. And I'm so glad to see this because it shows you that people are smarter than what the news actually think of them. And I think I don't know, what is your thought and perspective concerning Tucker? Do you think it's a great thing that he's returning? Do you think where do you think this is going to go? The fact it's on Twitter is going to spread everywhere. All right. You know, people are going to take the videos, put it on YouTube, social media, Rumble. It's going to be all over the place. He's going to be on all other platforms. But by going on Twitter, he's going to set a serious foundation. A lot of people are going to be attracted there in Twitter. Thank God for Elon Musk, even though Twitter is not perfect, but it's true, man. Some of the best stuff I found, even for my video contents, are from Twitter. Like YouTube is like almost becoming a second place to go to get my contents now. I'll go on Twitter and I get everything I need. Everything I need. Like some of the best comments, discussions, videos, things that YouTube don't even allow. Twitter has it. And Twitter is the way to go. But I love what Tucker talks about here, man, about the news. Guys, we need to have discernment today. I'm telling you, we need to be able to discern right from wrong, truth from error. And we need to pay attention to what's going on in the news. Now, we don't have to be consumed by it, but we must know what's happening. Look what Jesus says over and over again. It's talking to his disciples. And the first thing that Jesus says to them, in the light of Christ's second coming, right? And the disciples ask him, what shall be the signs of that coming of the end of the world? Jesus says, take heed that no man does what? Deceive you. So there is deception. Number one, look how many times he says that. That's the first time in verse 4. When you go down to verse 5, Jesus said, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. So we're talking about religious deception here. So there is that no man deceive you deception, and this could be an overarching, an overwhelming amount of deception coming from all over the place. But secondly, we have religious deception. So there are ministers, wicked men who are preaching the Bible who could deceive you. Okay, it's that much of a thing. Number one. Number three, many false prophets shall rise and shall do what? Deceive many. So there is deception from false prophets, right? They claim to believe in God. They claim to be sent by God, but they are deceiving people as well. But when you go to verse 24, and this is even deeper than that, for there shall come false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. It's good to know what the Bible says about deceptions. And the best way to know what deception is and to expose deception is that you need to have the truth of God's word. You need to have discernment. The Bible says, sanctify them through thy word is truth. Jesus also claims to be the way, the truth, and the life in John chapter 14, verse 6. For I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no man cometh to the Father but by me. And so we live in a time today where the truth is either under attack, neglected, rejected. But guess what, man? You're not going to stop it, though, because the truth is marching on. It's as a shining light that shineth more and more into a perfect day. I'm really excited about for Tucker, man. I think Tucker is going places because he's doing what nobody else wants to do. He's talking about things that many people wants to neglect. And this is the man. This is the man for the hour. I'm telling you, he is going to leave a mark. He already has done it, but he's going to leave a mark in the system. And I can see what's going to happen. They're gonna attack Twitter. They're going to make Elon Musk and Twitter look like bad. What they're doing is bad for the country. They're going to do that. I can guarantee you Twitter is going to be so overwhelmingly attacked by the powers that be to make us hate Twitter because they have to stop this network from Tucker, because Tucker is going to become one of those faces that they can't stop. And I really love his background. I love the setup here. I have a soft spot for ranch wood type of housing setup, whether that is really his home or whether this is a green screen. It doesn't look green screen to me. But anyway, thank you so much for listening. God bless you. Share your thought and perspective below. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.